Can I just point out my hair's gotten drier and drier as we like went along, and now it's like,
Jonathan Taylor Thomas style.
oh yeah, oh yeah.
Name of the episode. Don't sue us.
I'm leaving this in.
All right. Well, I guess we're ready then. So 1, 2, 3. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Beers and Boost. I'm Barry.
I'm Zach.
And I'm Nathan.
All right, and this week we're doing 3 beers. Nathan doesn't have one of them. Zach doesn't have one of them. So we'll figure that out as we go, because apparently liquor stores have different stocks. So who would have guessed? But this week we are doing Insane OG from Nope. Sweetwater.
Yes.
We are doing Sour IPA from New Belgium. And we are doing Bad Captain Goza from Lazy Magnolia.
There you go.
So I guess let's start with the one that we all have and then go from there.
It might ruin your taste buds.
That's okay. We'll find out. So I'll go ahead and point out, hey, you guys I'll do the talking. It is a dank insane strain. So it's from their G20 strain, their weed strain. It is a Mexican-style lager. And it is, according to the bottle, we turned to a couple true OGs for this collab. Cypress Hill's Be Real and his insane OG, Dr. Green Thumb, himself helped nail down the recipe for this intense Mexican-style lager. Pick it, crack it, drink it up, come along. And we are looking at 5.6%. And it looks like a Mexican-style lager. It's got a slight little amber caramel-y look to it.
What's the nose like?
Weed.
Very much so.
100%.
But I do have to say that a lot like Hemper from New Belgium and their other 2 strands, they have a Sweet Magnolia. Stop looking at the Lazy Magnolia can, everybody. Sweetwater has 4 of their weed strains because this is their 4th one. They have a chocolate stout or just a regular stout. I can't remember.
There's Mango Kush.
And then the Mango Kush. So, and then this is their 4th one. And a lot like the 2 that I have had, which is the IPA and the Mango Kush, and then Hemper from New Belgium. The smell is super intense, but the flavor of the dankness kind of goes away as soon as you stop smelling.
Mm-hmm.
So that's when you can get a flavor of what it actually is.
It's still kind of there, though.
It's almost all in the nose. So,
what do you guys think?
I admittedly opened one of these last night and tried it. I had 2 sips. And that's it. I don't like this beer whatsoever.
All right, then.
I'm a little bit different. I wouldn't say I enjoy it that well, but I don't think it's bad.
Now, I will commend them. This is exactly what they want it to be. It smells dank. It kind of tastes like a Mexican lager. Little hint of that dankness throughout. But personally, I don't like that. I can handle a little bit of a skunky beer, but this is way too much for me.
I think I'm on the other end of the spectrum. I think I actually kind of like this beer. So,
I would say from my perspective, I love the dank, like the Hemper or the G20 regular IPA Kush. I really, really enjoy. It's just a fun, different take on a beer, and that's just kind of why I like it so much. It's not the fact that it smells like weed that gets me off. It's kind of interesting. It's different, and I enjoy that it's not a fruity beer or anything like that. It's a different take, and I do like the dank nose. It's really nice.
Mm-hmm.
The skunky dankiness to it is nice. I do have to say that it's the lightest one that I've had in that aspect, which I think really blends itself well to this being this Mexican style lager. Now, coming down to actually what it is, when you taste the Mexican lager that's in it, 1, it actually is a Mexican lager. It tastes like it should. But 2, if you've ever had Easy Tiger from Lost 40, this is the better version of that, because Easy Tiger used to be just a beer that never left the house. they did something to it to where the flavor is so much more muted that this one pulls off the Mexican lager niceness very well when you kind of get rid of the dank weed aspect to it.
Yeah.
So overall, I think they did a fantastic job on the beer.
No, I agree. They did perfect. Like, if you could take out the skunky dankness for me, I would be drinking this all the time. I just personally don't like that nose or flavor. But
Yeah.
I mean, when you look at their description of it, like, this is damn near perfect and it's exactly what they wanted it to be.
So I'm coming at it from a weird perspective because those others that we've tried, the Emperor, the Mango Kush, the different ones that that I've had, I didn't like a single one of those.
Mhm.
Like I didn't like them, and mainly because of the skunk, the dankness. This is the first dank beer I've liked, like bar none.
And
So-
Nice.
I will say, speaking from experience just now, you're going to be burping this up for hours.
Yep.
That's fine. But yeah, no, I'm kind of with you in that this is it's very, very approachable. So I think that if you do not like a dank kind of beer like this is the one to try to get yourself into it. Because if you go straight into a hemper, you're gonna get overloaded, and you're probably just not gonna like that unless you're just in for super earthy IPA with a massive punch of weed. Like I left a bottle. I think I've told this story before, but when I first had it, I left the bottle on top of the fridge because it was with the rest of the recycling. Woke up the next morning and forgot I'd ever had it. And I was like, who the fuck smoked weed in my house?
Mm-hmm.
Nope, just the bottle. And now I've kind of gotten used to it because, I mean, we buy it occasionally, buy Hemper occasionally. It's like I said, it's one of those fun beers when you're looking for something a little different. It's really nice. But if you're not into this, you may never like it at all.
If you've been around
So-
friends that smoke weed in legal states in Denver, and you don't like that smell, you probably won't like this. But
Yeah.
if you don't mind that, it is a very approachable beer. It's very easy to drink if
Yeah.
you like that scent, because it's strong. Which
Well-
I have to remember to wash out that bottle. I forgot to wash out my first bottle from last night, and like an hour later, I was like, "What the fuck?" Oh, right. I need to clean that.
Yeah. Well, do we want to go ahead and give a grade for it, Zach, since you may not be inclined to come back for a second round?
I'll come back for a second round when it warms up.
Okay.
I'll do it justice. I'll do my due diligence as a reviewer.
Well,
And a
hopefully
journalist.
that nose opens up so we can actually smell it.
Yeah.
You know.
You crack the bottle and you can smell it.
You can.
Can. But anyway, first rounds, I truly enjoy that beer. Like, not my favorite dank beer, but I really like the Mexican lager aspect to it.
Mhm.
So,
Yeah, my personal
do-
preference is low, but quality and what they set out to do is very high.
well, do we want to go ahead and clean out your palate there, Zach, and go for the sour IPA, or Nathan, and we go for the Goza?
Either one. I got water. I will drink that sour IPA with or without
Well,
you.
let's. I want to go for the sour IPA only because I want to save the Goza to where I can really taste it, and I feel like blending from a sour-ish to a sour completely will help clean away some of this dank aspect. So,
Probably.
so you do the drinking, I'll do the reading.
Oh, I was gonna do a remote cheers.
Oh yeah.
Clink.
Did Nathan just freeze his camera?
It's the second time it's happened. When he went wide-eyed earlier, it froze, but I think he's like froze.
Oh, okay. I wasn't.
Nathan, are you still there? I think he dropped.
Okay.
I'm just gonna leave that though.
That is hilarious. It's like he's also got a great smile.
Oh God.
Okay.
Well, that's bad for my Streamlabs because now it's real zoomed into us.
Yep.
I guess we pause.
Pause. All right, Nathan's back.
He's back.
So how's your Streamlabs going?
It's back to normal.
Okay. So Nathan's back. Nathan, we're just gonna put that smile back on your face and act like you don't exist because that was great.
I'm just gonna
You should have seen it.
cut, paste that, and that's the only view we ever have of you again.
It was actually really good. But anyway, sour IPA from New Belgium. It is an India Pale Ale blended with wood age golden sour ale. It is 7%, and that is literally all you. Oh, here we go. Hazy and partly sour, with a chance of another.
I wouldn't say partly sour. It is hazy though.
It is okay. So last week, those
It looks like a
fuckers
rat.
from Norfolk, that this is a hazy IPA.
Yeah, this
Like,
is what that New England IPA is supposed to look like.
Yeah, no, that stuff from last week was terrible. This is legit hazy. It is completely. It looks like fruit juice with a ton of pulp. Looks fantastic. What do we got taste wise?
Well, before we do that, I do want to say I've never noticed. Shout out to Dead Lizard. I've got quite a few of their glasses. This one, Dead Lizard, both sides. This one's only on one.
Interesting.
Because we get 2 glasses every time we go. So, well, we should have 6. We lost 2 to the hotel. So I'm wondering which batch that was. Either way, there's a little bit of IPA almost. It's mostly sour. It's tart.
This is the first sour I've had in a while, and oh my god, do I miss sours?
It's so fucking good.
This is ridiculous. Like, first of all, New Belgium, like, so we've been talking about World War Beer a lot, and we haven't done World War Beer in a while. We should do it, but I was looking up.
We probably have to.
There was an article a couple of weeks ago talking about the top 50 the wealthiest, basically 50 breweries in America, and New Belgium was number 3. It was Sam Adams or microbreweries. Sam Adams and
Micro?
one up. Not Sam Adams is a macro. I guess they were calling it craft beer. I guess I don't know. I didn't read the article fully. I just looked at the chart. Well, New Belgium was 3rd, and a lot of money. But surprisingly enough, Duval was like number 6. The only Duval beer we get here is Boulevard. But I think Boulevard might make its way into World War Beer now if Duval is an international company.
Yeah, it could.
Meaning Tank 7 might have just become a sneaky number 1 seed.
And the calling?
Yeah. But different topic for a different episode. The sour IPA. Sour.
Yeah, I don't get much IPA.
Me either.
But
I get a little bit of that juiciness that you get from a hazy IPA. There's a little bit of that grapefruity, orangey, pineapple effect. But it is mainly a golden sour.
Mm-hmm. Which I am perfectly okay with. I don't know if it fits its bill as an IPA, because I would expect... If you say sour IPA, I would expect some sour, some tart, some bitter, some hoppy.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess if we're thinking New England IPA, maybe they're pretty on point, but...
Well, I'm going to venture to give them the benefit of the doubt in that aspect, because it does say hazy golden beer. And a hazy IPA is generally a New England IPA, which is generally lower in the bitter unit, higher in the juiciness. And the nose and the aftertaste lend very well to a grapefruit, orange, pineapple, nice punch. But the middle of it is all golden sour. I get none of that wood barrel aging, which is kind of disappointing, but the flavor is spot on good.
Yeah, I really, really, really like this beer.
Me
That's
too.
why this is number 3.
Yeah. Fantastic beer. Now, Nathan, let's move it on to the Bad Captain Goza. And I have to say, when you read the can, it is a sour ale brewed with coriander and sea salt. Now, that is a Goza. That all these other people adding in everything else. The reason I got this, and I kind of wish Zach would get it, but he wasn't able to find it. Was able to find it. All good. Gozas that are straight Gozas are becoming so hard to find, and they're becoming so rare that I had to get it.
Mm-hmm.
And it says on here, drink it at 40 degrees. I've been bullshit enough for the past 10 minutes that I think we actually might be at our 40 degrees. So this might be, we could rate it now if you wanted. But it is 4.5%, 8 IBUs, and they say to eat it, drink it, with goat cheese, ceviche, and scallops.
I've got the thermometer here. I can test my beers and give a rough estimate as to where you guys are.
So, a lot of, I mean, first blush on this one, very much a Goza. Is the coriander coming through very much for you?
There's a hint of it. There's no hint of it in the nose. It's more so in about that back end. It's not fully when you swallow it, but right when you're doing the action of it.
Yeah.
The salt level is spot on.
I really like this beer. I'm a huge sour and Goza fan, so I like this beer. I do kind of wish the spiciness of the coriander was coming through more.
I am with you in that aspect. Like I kind of wish the coriander nose was a little bit more prevalent because the nose is a little bland. But there's a little bit of it there, so I give them that. But I have to say that's the best Goza I've had in a while, mainly because I haven't had very many just Gozas in a while. But the sourness level is on point. Like it's not too tart. Like a Goza should be in that 4 pH level, where some of your sours, like that sour IPA we're looking at, is probably sitting. I don't have my pH tester. I should go get it. But it's probably sitting in that 2 range. Like it's super, super sour. So this is really, really nice complement to your beginner sour kind of aspect, or just, hey, foyer into it.
I don't have much to add. I mean, it's a very simple beer. It's
which is
salty, it's sour, it's smooth, and that's all I need.
Yeah, that's what a Goza should be. I don't think there's not too much of the malt flavor. You get a little bit of that Pilsner malt. I doesn't look like it's using wheat in it because there is absolutely no head retention. So they're probably using Pilsner and 2-row. They could be using wheat, but it's unlikely. I just think, yeah, the only thing I would say that it needs is a little bit more like coriander, like a little bit of coriander dry hopping would have been nice, but pretty damn good beer.
Wish I had it.
Yeah.
What's
like I was telling the guys before we started recording, I gave my wife loves sour beers. Those are her favorite. Gave her a sip of it, and I almost didn't make it in here to record with it. So
you need to find that sour IPA from New Belgium.
Yeah. Shout out to Eileen and her one time being on the episode or the show, the podcast.
So, I bet she'll come back around at some point.
Hopefully so, when I'm here. So it is currently 80 degrees in the studio, like it pretty much always is nowadays. And these 2 beers are at 50 degrees.
So it's probably a little bit cooler at my house.
Yeah.
Because it's like 65 in this room. So
I think the rest of the house is at 69.
Yeah.
Nice.
Nice. We are so lame. But anyway, Nathan, go ahead and give a tasting and give it a grade.
Okay, for
the
bad captain.
Yeah, the bad captain.
Oh man, I'm thinking 4.25.
I want it.
I'm thinking very agreeable with that score. Like it's almost a perfect Goza, but not quite. I think it's just a damn fine Goza. I think I agree with you 100%. 4.25.
Really wish I had it now.
I will be buying this again, is what I'm saying.
I'll be on the lookout for it.
I do have to say, Lazy Magnolia for a long, long time in this area. Lazy Magnolia is from Louisiana, so they're not too far away. I think they're actually from Shreveport. I should probably look that up. But
they are.
Yeah, so Shreveport, Louisiana, which is super fucking close. Like, I mean, we're talking like a 4-hour drive.
Actually, they're not.
No, they're not.
Great Raft is from Shreveport. Lazy Magnolia is from Kiln, Mississippi.
Yep, there it is. Kiln, Mississippi. Okay, so I don't know how far away that is. But anyway, the whole point is they only sent us 2 beers, which is their pecan porter brown ale thing, and then their IPA. And their IPA is always good. It's like $14 for a 6-pack, so I've never bought it. Well, it was $10 for this Goza 6-pack, and then they had 2 other beers that were new from Lazy Magnolia, and I'm glad they're sending them back because I do like their IPA, and I really like this Goza. So, good job, Lazy Magnolia.
Do you like their pecan brown ale?
It's okay. Like, I didn't like it a ton.
I didn't mind it.
Very pecan-y.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. I think that's why I'm not a huge fan of it. It's more of a beer than it is like a beer I'm really wanting. So
Kiln, Mississippi is 9.5 hours away. It is on the coast, pretty much. So,
all right then. Hope Kiln, Mississippi's doing all right out there. Man, that's good. That's good. It's really
I want it.
It's really good. So let's do the other beer redo. So let's go back to the sour IPA there and give that a grade. The IPA, the New England IPA, comes through now a lot more, especially in the nose. But even in the flavor, you get that back end a lot heavier now.
It's a lot juicier now. It's very tart still.
Still very tart.
A lot juicier.
I have to say, New Belgium. Like, I'm sorry, I'm that guy that's putting this up on the app. I would rather have pictures of it, but the head retention is fantastic on this beer. Like, this was poured 30 minutes ago.
Mine's okay.
The lacing on this is fantastic as well. Like, it sticks to the glass. Good stuff. I mean, an appearance beer, it's fantastic. Taste wise, I don't know where I would knock it back at. Like, that's pretty damn close to perfect.
If we're looking at a New England hazy IPA with sour aspects, and that's what they were going for, which, according to the cans, what they were, that's what that is.
It's 7%, and you can't fucking tell.
No.
Like, it tastes like it's 3.
Yeah.
Like,
it is very tart, grapefruit, and pineapple juice.
And it looks that good. I'm thinking through the processes in my head of what would make this not a perfect. What would I change about it to make it a perfect beer? Because that's always our question. Like, if you haven't listened to our shows or seen us on YouTube, that's what we talk about. When we have a perfect beer or really close to perfect beer, it's the thought process of what would make this perfect. And if you can't really think of anything, then isn't it perfect? And I've got nothing. For me, for my preferences, and based off of what this can says it is, that's a 5. Damn good beer.
I think I have to agree. I can't think of anything that should change or needs to change. It's a hazy, sour IPA.
And if you like IPAs, New England IPAs, not IPAs, New England IPAs, or you like sours, give that a try.
Yeah, it's not a hoppy, bitter beer. Don't be afraid of the IPA on the side of the can. It's tart, it's sour, it's juicy.
There's almost no bitterness to it, which when we talk about it, and to bring Nathan back into the conversation, because you've had a lot of New England, especially on this show alone, but when New England IPAs first came out, the idea behind them was it's juice, it's fruit forward, and that became like the trend for 2 years now. And me, I am personally just done with New England IPAs or the juicy IPAs, unless you do something with it, which is like, this is different. It's a sour IPA. But when they first come out and people started brewing with them, their bitter level was an 8, just like what this Goza is 8 IBUs. They would sit between 8 and 22, which is what your lagers sit at as far as bitter units, where a normal IPA would sit between 55 and 85, depending on the style, sometimes hundreds. it was all the hops at the end. You would dry hop to get that juicy craziness up front. And I think that's something you could pass off to a non-IPA drinker. Would you think Eileen would be in for?
See, that's what I've been thinking this whole time. You guys been describing this. It's like maybe this is like we buy a 6-pack and she has 3 and I have 3 kind of thing.
If
So,
she likes a good sour, this is a damn good sour.
Well, I know she's not a huge IPA fan, so
she freaking hates them.
yeah.
This is far enough from the the Western IPAs that we normally drink that are super bitter, super hoppy. This is far enough away from that. I think she would actually really like it.
Yeah.
Yep, I think I'm going to give it a shot. And if not, they're all for me.
You'll probably like it.
Nathan, you'll like it. You'll like it a lot. All right, so we got a 4.25 and a 5 on the. Let's go on and get back to that Sweetwater Insane OG.
You cut out there. Was that 4.25 on Bad Captain and then 5 on Sour?
Yeah.
Okay.
So Insane OG, second round. The nose opened up more, and you get more dank. I'm just gonna say that.
I can smell it from here.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. That is an interesting beer.
Okay.
I think some of the bitterness came out quite a bit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It lost a little bit of that lager aspect to me.
And see, I think I'm the opposite way. I think it gained more of the Mexican lager style back end, where it's got a little bit more malty, a little bit more earthy aspects to it.
Yeah.
It dried up.
Mm-hmm.
Like
it got drier. Mm-hmm.
I wasn't thinking Mexican style. Yeah, that's probably correct.
I do have to say, though, the nose somehow, which is completely different than what I've ever had with dank beers. Usually you open it up, you get the punch of weed, and then you're in like 20 minutes, you don't get any more. Not with this one. This one has stayed the course.
This office is going to smell like I've been smoking in here and hotboxing for like a week.
Because you haven't. Right.
I don't do that.
I gotta say, though, I really enjoy it.
I like it a little more now. I still just can't get over that nose. Personally.
I don't know that I like it more or less than when I first tasted it. I think the different aspects of it came out a little bit more, but I don't know. I kind of felt like they were already there. So I also was the first one to open my beers. So mine might have been sitting for a little bit before we actually started recording.
That's a good point. I'm just gotta say, like, for me, the lager aspects to the back end fully did evolve a little bit enough to where, like, if you could get over the dankness of it, if you didn't like that, then I think you're sitting with a damn fine lager on your hands. Like, I really would choose, like, if this didn't have the weed aspect to it, I would have this as a lager in my house all the time.
Yeah.
But because it does have the danky aspects to it, I don't want it all the time. Like, I think that flavor would just become so potent and overbearing that I wouldn't enjoy it anymore if I drank it, a 6-pack a week. So I think this is a really good specialty beer. I think they did a really good job with that.
They did exactly what they wanted with it.
Yeah, I don't know that I have much to add to that because I think, this is not a style of beer that I would just want all the time. And you are right. Like, in the back end, you can taste and sense that really good Mexican lager, which is one of my favorite types of beer.
Absolutely.
And so, like, there is almost a bit of a frustration. Like, where's that? Like, like give us this and give us that Mexican lager just by itself.
Yeah, I really agree with that. Like, I would love to see their version of a true Mexican lager.
Do they make one?
Because I think that would be fantastic. But grade wise, I think they pulled this beer off exactly how it needed to be.
And I agree.
I just don't think they met all of the components. Like it's the only reason it's not a 5. I'm gonna go 4.5. Only because it just makes me want more Mexican lager.
So before I give my score, I will say Sweetwater does have the Hatchery series. They have just a straight Mexican lager. If it's got
Why?
this in it, we need to find that.
Yeah, it's not in Fayetteville.
I haven't seen it.
Huh.
I'll have to look for that. So my personal preference is a very low score. That would be like a 1.5 personally.
Mm-hmm.
What they were wanting to do, Mexican lager, dank, they did hit all of those marks. They've got exactly what they want in this glass, so I'll give them a 4.25. On brewing, just straight brewing, what they wanted to do, what they got, they did well.
Oh, okay. I feel a little weird because I talked this up when we first had it, and in no way was I coming close to a 4.
Well, Nathan's grade, you're adding in a lot. We are adding in personal preference to this, and that's why for me, like as a beer class, but then also personal preference grade, it went down to a 4.5.
We are doing personal preference in our scores here?
Yeah, that's how we always do it.
Yeah.
That's how we do our grades. We do it graded by what the can says, what the style is, and then our personal grade, mix it together. Boom.
That's what we've been doing for World War beer. I thought we were doing just straight what they wanted in the glass. If that's the case, 2.75.
People do listen to us for our opinions there, Zach. So you have to put in your personal preference into your score.
So 2.75 then.
Okay.
I don't like it. They did a really good job. If you like that, go get it.
Yeah, and I was thinking, like, to reiterate, we have reiterated this on this beer. Like, they did what they wanted to do. Eileen's taking the Goza. Like, she just came in and took it.
Hey, Eileen.
Hi, Eileen.
I think the burgers are done, so that's why she's she's like, need the drink. I would say on this one, the way they put it together, I would probably give them like 4.5 on how they were, how consistent they were on putting it together. Personal preference knocks it down quite a bit for me. It's probably 3.25. So
an overall grade 3.25. All right, nice. So still a pretty wide range of grades there, but this is a very divisive beer. So.
Yes, it is. That flavor is very, very intense. Not flavor, but scent, smell.
Yeah. Well, either way, to put it in front of you, we got quite a few beers, even though we didn't get all by all. We've got some pretty interesting stuff. We've got a Goza that I am so happy is on the market. I hope they keep it because I would drink this thing year round.
I gotta find it.
This sour IPA from New Belgium. I mean, it's New Belgium. It's an IPA, a juicy IPA, and a sour. It is what it is. There's a reason it got just 2 5s. And then a divisive but interesting Mexican lager.
If you can find a single bottle of this, and I'm just curious, or know someone that has it, I highly recommend you try a beer like this.
They have all of the 420 strain and build your own 6-pack at Liquor World, which is where I got mine yesterday. So
yes, yep. So if you're in the Northwest Arkansas region, hit up Liquor World. Their beer selection's great. A couple of people that work there are fantastic. They are doing side, which most of them are, but you can also go in the store as well. I went in, it was 9 o'clock. No one was in there but the workers. So I felt comfortable and safe. So yeah, either way, we've given you some good beers to be down in lockdown with. Call your order ahead, go pick it up. Whatever you do, stay safe out there, guys. Stay home.
I'm actually going to point something out about Liquor World yesterday, which was kind of funny because I went in there, it was like mid-afternoon. And I'm so very used to, like, if I have to go into somewhere, just being like head on a swivel, like making sure I'm not near anyone or anything like that. But they are so used to like offering help to anyone that walks in there. Guy walks right up to me. I'm at the build your own 6-pack like beer thing, and he just walks right up to me. Is like, "Hey, can I help you out with anything?" I'm like, "Get away! What are you doing?"
Do you know what's happening in the world right now?
But, like, Yeah, it's like just normal for them because it's like, all right, yeah.
Yeah. That's good. That's good. Also terrible. Don't do that.
No.
If somebody's walking up to you, you walk away. Or just stay home. We're so close. We're so close to getting the curve to start to lower down.
Mm-hmm.
Do your part. Help out. Be great. Enjoy some beers over the weekend. Have a good time at your house. Hit us up on Twitter at Beers and Boost. Hit us up on Instagram at Beers and Boost Pod. Or, comment, like, subscribe. Do that lame shit down below on our YouTube. Thanks, guys.
See you later.
Have a good week.